What does it, cousins? This is Jolyn GC, co-creator and co-producer of the Come Up series. And this is Wealth Rituals, a show about the mindset, insights, and emotional ups and downs on this journey we call wealth.
A wealth ritual is a repeated intentional act that holds meaning, designed to align you with the energy, identity, and vision of wealth. It's how you transform your relationship to money, self, and legacy over time.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you were just going through the motions and not fully investing in yourself? In today's episode, we're breaking down what it truly means to invest in yourself, why it's the ultimate wealth building strategy, and how you can start showing up for you in a way that changes everything. If you've been feeling stuck, complacent, or just unsure of your next move, stay with me. This episode might just be the shift you need. Remember when I told you that I've been feeling complacent for 2 years? Yes, great things were happening in the background, but I felt disconnected from myself in a way that allowed me to engage with people, places, and things that were not fully aligned. I had to do something to get back on track. I had to get back to me. So I took inventory of where I was and began pruning those people, places, and things that no longer served me. Have you ever had to take a step back and reassess? Maybe it was a job, a relationship, or even a habit that was holding you back. What did you do? Or are you still waiting for the perfect time to make a move? For months, I had been thinking about enrolling in a 12-month holistic success program where I would get to examine 10 life areas up close and personal alongside other successful Black women. But every time I consider it, I told myself, I can't. The Come Up series is on Tuesdays. And that was it. End of discussion. I felt frustrated, but also resigned. And I told myself that this was just the price of commitment. But was it really? Or was I just hiding behind my schedule to avoid making a bold decision for myself? That realization hit me hard. How many times have you told yourself, I don't have time, or I can't because insert whatever excuse? What if you reframe that and ask, how can I make this work? So I did just that. I started asking, how do I do both the Come Up series and take this class, aka invest in myself? That question changed everything. Instead of accepting a rigid either or mindset, I began exploring possibilities. I looked at my schedule, assessed my priorities, and realized that flexibility was in my hands the whole entire time. I mean, hello, I am the GCEO of the Come Up series, so I could make a decision, right? Once I allowed myself to think creatively about solutions, everything opened up. That solution? Duh, pre-record on nights there was a conflict. I made small adjustments, shifted my approach, and suddenly what once seemed like an impossible conflict became manageable. And that shift empowered me to take ownership of my time rather than feeling constrained by it. Have you ever realized you were the one holding yourself back? Yes, go ahead and tell the truth. What's something you've been postponing simply because you haven't allowed yourself to find a way? As I've stepped into investing at this level, I've realized that growth requires much more preparation. Expanding my capacity isn't just about saying yes, it's about structuring my yes with intentionality. Working with the team, producing the Come Up series, and taking this 12-month program has required me to level up my preparation. I'm not just preparing for class, I'm preparing for the conversations, the insights, and the shifts that will come from it. I structure my preparation with much more intentionality. Show prep, class prep, even prepping for this episode, it's all more integrated now. My friends will call me and ask me about different insights, and those conversations always aid my preparation and deepen my notes. What about you? How do you prepare for the things that you say are important to you? Do you give yourself time and space to fully engage, or do you just wing it? I journal way more too. Getting my thoughts out of my head and onto paper helps me track my growth. But even more, it serves as a record of my thoughts that allows me to see patterns, connect ideas, and gain clarity. Through this process, I've come to see journaling as more than just a habit. It's a tool for clarity, expansion, and tracking my own evolution. But what I didn't realize at first was just how powerful my written reflections would become. Looking back, something was unfolding that I hadn't yet fully grasped. Investing in oneself isn't just about spending money. It's about committing to your own growth in every way. It can be financial, like paying for coaching, courses, therapy, personal retreats, or investing in the market. But it's also non-financial. It's about how you spend your time, energy, and attention. It's about prioritizing learning, where you're seeking knowledge that expands your mind and challenges your beliefs. It's about curating your environment, removing distractions, and aligning yourself with people and spaces that nurture your growth. And it's also about cultivating aligned relationships, choosing to surround yourself with people who reflect the version of you that you are becoming. When you make the choice to bet on yourself first, you stop waiting for external validation and start recognizing that you are your number one money-making asset. This pattern of the hesitating and delaying investing in myself, letting fear take the wheel, unfortunately, it wasn't new. But back in 2018, I was so scared to bet on myself that I delayed making my first trade for 3 whole weeks. I had all the information, all the guidance, and still I stalled. Why? Because I was afraid. I told myself, what if I lose the money? What if this doesn't work? And by the time I finally took action, I saw how much money I had lost out on just by waiting. That moment taught me something I never wanted to forget. Fear had already cost me money, and I wasn't going to let it cost me more. This class, these fear-driven thoughts that were just limiting me in the background, and this entire journey, it's all been a part of breaking that cycle of hesitation and learning to trust myself. Once I finally made my first trade, even though it was 3 weeks late, that solitary decision became part of the Come Up series origin story. And if I hadn't invested in myself at that moment, if I had let fear dictate my choices, I wouldn't be here with you right now. That first trade wasn't just about money. It was about proving to myself that I could trust my own decisions. That moment of hesitation and the realization that fear had already cost me enough became fuel for everything that followed. It was the first step toward the work I do today, the lessons I share, and the wealth I now create for myself and others. Looking back, I sometimes wonder, what if I never enrolled in this class? What if I just let my schedule dictate my decisions and convinced myself I just didn't have the time? I would have stayed exactly where I was, stuck, waiting for the perfect time to invest in myself. And honestly, that time would have never come. But because I made the decision to enroll, I gained something even more powerful than I expected. It wasn't just the knowledge from the class, it was a deeper realization about how my own mindset had been shaping my reality long before I even knew it. And that's where my biggest breakthrough happened. Have you ever considered that your thoughts might be placing silent requests into the universe on your behalf? What if what you focus on, whether positive or negative, is shaping your reality? I've been enrolled in class now since January, and just recently I had a breakthrough, and that moment rocked me. I learned that our thoughts create ask. It blew my mind because thoughts are silent, right? You think thoughts in your head. And I had always associated asking with prayer spoken out loud. I mean, I pray out loud and make requests out loud. But if my quiet thoughts were making requests, whether intentional or not, what was I actually asking for? I know what my thoughts were asking back then, and it was everything except my deepest desires. If our thoughts are like deposits in our hearts, minds, and spirits, make them the richest, biggest, most soul-satisfying thoughts you can think of. So cousins, here's what I want you to walk away with. 1, investing in yourself is non-negotiable. It's an ongoing process, not a one-time decision. 2, bet on yourself first. The external rewards will come, but the internal transformation is what sustains you. And 3, reclaim your time, wealth, and creative autonomy. Make space for your growth because a full, aligned version of you is the wealthiest version of you. 4, your thoughts are already creating ask, so be intentional about what you're asking for. And 5, this week, I challenge you to invest in yourself by journaling on what alignment looks like for you. Tag me and let me know what you discover. Because remember, investing in yourself is not optional. It's the foundation of your wealth. You are the foundation of your wealth. This is Jolyn GC in the place to be, and this has been another episode of Wealth Rituals. See you next time.